And so we're jumping into the fights. Of course, the fights could have been a little bit better. They were not exactly that impressive in this one. But it still introduced a lot of the new characters that all promises this to be more exciting in the long run, so to speak. Yes, this is the High School DXD Season 4, aka Hero Episode 5, I presume. In this episode, the team of Hyodo Issei are surrounded by the hero faction of Khaos Brigade, led by Sao Sao. It's not Cao Cao, what I said last time, it's actually pronounced Sao Sao, a descendant holding a spear that is called a Lugnius. He directs a young, very ugly looking boy that is called Leonardo. Seeing the name, very likely a descendant of Leonardo da Vinci. Although technically I see no reason how that should be possible, but hey, let's not go there. So, either way, he also holds a Longneus. A Longneus allows him to shape monsters at the shape of his will. The team fights while Azazel, who managed to catch up, fights Sao as it reveals that his spear, the Holy Spear, is probably mighty enough to allow him to clash with the Azazel, because it turns out all of the hero factions are not demons, devils, angels, or any other reincarnation. No, they are just simply pure, simple humans that have kidnapped the princess of Kyoto yokais because using her power may be able to them to go beyond the ability of a human, or at least that's what they say. It's during this fight, which seems to be more in the hero faction's favor, we're also introduced to Siegfried, the descendant of the supposedly descendant of the hero Siegfried, wielding a demon sword called Gram. Gotta say though, the effects on that demon sword Gram, that was kind of badass. Something tells me that sword is going to be very important in the future. But he also has an extra arm, which is also sacred to gear. It's during this moments though that the team Gremory gets an unexpected ally in the form of a very cute witch named Lefay Pendragon. Yes, it's that person. The sister of Arthur Pendragon from Valley Team, the witch of the Valley Team, Lefay Pendragon, who has brought forth a Gulmogus from the dimension lost in order to back up. According to her, Valley and Sao Sao have apparently had a beef once upon a time, so she warns him to stay out of his way. It is also revealed that Lefay Pendragon is a fan of Oppai Dragon and begs Issei to shake her hand, especially when he's hanging on to a rock. I had to say, it was kind of comic. But I have a feeling those things would have been a little bit more comical if it took its time a little bit. Either way, the most comical moments though is Rosuaisu, who appears stone cold drunk, of course, angry at all the noise, and then fires off dozens of magic spells. Yes, for being such a bad temperament and drunk. I have to say that was funny. Another funny moment, was the fact that the three girls tried to attack Issei, but of course he used bilingual and the dress breako to, of course, strip them of their clothing. Issei, you are yourself. Either way, the hero faction retreat, despite the fact they had the advantage. And next time that Team Gremory discuss with Azazel and Lady Seraphal what is going on here. Whatever they're planning on, the hero faction is planning on doing, it's not something good. It's during this time later on that they assign different teams for different objects in order to find the lady of the Kyoto yokai. But also, Azazel reveals a red orb that to Issei, which is revealed to be Issei's potential, or at least what's contained into the box that he got from episode 1 or 2 or something like that. Really, because it disappeared when he opened it, because Issei thought that meant he had no skill, but apparently the orb disappeared and then began to grouping ladies' breasts by possessing them or something like that. Sounds like his potential, all right. But no one knows exactly how to activate it, but it may very well possible if Issei can tame that power, and if it really is a real power, Issei can get some very huge power up from that. Either way, in the Kono begs Issei to follow with him to save her mother, and Issei admits. But then later on, as the team is in different stations, they get teleported to different abilities. It's during this time that Issei gets confronted by a shadow secret gear user that is the same secret gear user we saw briefly in the flashback of next episode. Given the fact that that flashback kind of was important, it's not exactly known, but it is kind of funny when he asks, "You don't remember me, security?" And Issei says, "Yeah, I don't." But then when the shadow user uses shadows, he suddenly do remember. He unleashes his balance of Breaku and begins to tie Issei up. Is this the end of the Red Dragon Emperor or the Oppai Dragon? Either way, that's basically this episode. I mean, there were some fights, but the fights could have been a little bit better. I have to say that. But it wasn't exactly that bad of an episode. Things that really happened did happen. Especially with the introduction of Lefay Pendragon. I have a feeling she will be important later on. And again, the biggest laugh has to be Rosa Wisen in her drunken state. That was the biggest laugh. Not the stripping moments, but yeah. We also see some more moments with Rias, Akino, and Koneko-chan. Although this time they're not in the shower. So, I mean, the ladies were stripped, but other than that, was very little fan service in this one episode. After all, this was an episode all dedicated to action. But again, the action could have been a little bit higher. Still, you take what you get. So I enjoyed this episode, and the plot is moving forward indeed. I just hope they can stop Cao Cao. I do not like him really that much. He's an arrogant one. Turns out he also talks like all the other guys. It's Siegfriedo that I was most surprised about. I didn't know he would talk in such a polite tone. It was pretty unexpected. But yeah, these Zero factions appears to be descendants of ancient heroes from both myth and history. Wonder if we're gonna see them. Given the fact that the Swords Masters, oh, sorry, all couldn't fight Siegfriedo. I am not really sure they can defeat him at all. But I guess this is also a bit of an ironic. The hero faction is all humans, and yet they seem to look down a little bit on devils. And yet they commit more evil fact than the devils so far, by kidnapping an innocent yokai and stuff like that. So this basically is the episode. Some nice action, some nice introduction to new characters, and the plot is moving forward nicely. I'm already looking forward to what's going to happen next. But you give me a false if you have any.